Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
I go away for one day and everything gets lost. Good morning. Welcome to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Podchaser, Giovanni, Amazon Music, Audible, Rumble, Tiki Live, and more. Good morning, and I am your host, Dr. Marissa. Yes, I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah by Michael Bernard Beckwith, and it stuck. And I'm grateful for that honorable moniker, and I'm grateful that you are here on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Welcome. Thank you for the heart, Crystal. Crystal is one of my choir mates, and I have lots to show you this morning from my backstage interviews with the Temptations. Yes, believe it or not, at a really great location. It was a fundraiser for St. Joseph's Medical Center, who they do great things for the homeless. I'll show you that because I met them through their grandson on the red carpet, and also got to sing with the amazing Agape International Spiritual Center Choir. And I went to Vegas right after that and covered an event where one of your past guests, Erik Swanson, was being knighted, as well as several of my friends. So you'll see that, as well as some resources from Long Beach that you may not be aware of. So if you know anyone who is homeless, if you want to help, I'll be covering that. And then last but not least, a little interview with Chuck E. Cheese. So we have a plethora of on-location Dr. Marissa reporting live, which is what I like to do on Tuesday mornings, as well as answering a caller question, which is, how do I deal with my exhaustion? So as a happiness coach, I get asked that question quite frequently. So I will be giving some Happy 88 tools to help you with exhaustion if that's what you're going through right now. And it's perfectly understandable, but we want to catch you before you get to that point where you have to go and get some medical treatment. There are some things in self-care that we're not taught. So I thought I would address those today. And finally, your Asian Oprah giveaway is a pair of tickets to the Saban Theater to see Backstage with the Beatles. It's a wonderful show put on by Bob Eubanks. I was going to say Eugene Levy. Bob Eubanks, you'll know and remember from the Newlywed Game. And what we don't know about him is he's actually responsible for bringing the Beatles to America. So the tickets to that show at the Saban will be at the end of the show. So stay through and you'll find out how to get them. But before we do all of that, and hopefully I remember, Sam, you're going to have to keep me on my toes to remember to do all of those things this morning in the very short hour. We always start, in 88% of the time, we start with the gratitude sandwich. I want you to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which is a Happy 88 tool to start your day in the most positive way. And I have manipulated and bribed my sound engineer, Sam, to be my gratitude partner in the morning when he says, okay. And today, even though it's not Thursday, he's going to do it for me. So Sam, good morning. How are you? I am happy and grateful. Thank you. And we're going to take a bite by starting with the tag team gratitudes. And since we do 8, I get 4, Sam gets 4, and we're going to bounce back and forth. Crystal, I know you're listening. If you have gratitudes, you can put them in the chat. And if they are not R-rated, I will put them up on the screen. Just kidding. Crystal and I have a lot of fun when we sing on stage, and we're both very shy. Sarcasm, it's another service that I offer. But we're going to start with gratitudes. And so, Sam, why don't you start? I am grateful for cold pools to wake me up the second time when I do laps before the show. I'm grateful for groceries. Good one. I'm grateful for gas, even though the prices are crazy. We actually are approaching what gas prices have been in Europe for a while. So in that sense, I'm grateful that we have a way to get around. There's many people in the world who have no way to get around except their feet. I am grateful that the planets did not crash into each other last night. And yes, I get another day to hug, hold, laugh, love, learn, innovate, create, and be nice. Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. Is that 8? Did we do 8? 6. One more. I'm grateful that my sound engineer, actually both of them, shout out to Polly, both of them are super kind, nice, and cute guys behind the scenes that make my show possible. So there you go. Let's do a little applause. He's definitely starting to get to know my groove, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful to Mark Westwood for commandeering these two so that I can go live every morning and not have to do 3 times as much work pre-recording. All right, so that's the top of the bun of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. And why do we do that? Because our muscle, if we're not using our muscle of focus, we tend to wake up in the morning and reach for this thing called the smart, sometimes manipulative phone that gives us not necessarily good news. If you go to your email, which is like, I really want to break that habit because it's very rare that I get something good on the email. So it's like, usually it's people asking me for to do things. So I plug my phone in another room just so that I can start my morning in the most positive way instead of getting sucked into the quicksand of news clicking, which is, very biased towards if it bleeds, it leads, and the shock value of things, usually something wrong. I say that, the top 3 things that news usually offers is some natural disaster, some evidence of someone doing someone wrong, and then some kind of corruption in the government. So unless you want to see those things, you might want to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, work that muscle to focus on what's good in life in the morning, and that way more good will come. Now, the ticket to, or the magic in my gratitude sandwich is actually at night. So before you go to bed, and no, I'm not going to stay on the air until tonight, but pretend you're going to bed tonight. The bottom of the bun is those things that you are appreciative of yourself. Being self-approved is another skill that we do not grow up with and are not taught in school or home. I was taught to don't blow your own horn, don't toot your own horn. The nail that stands up is hammered down. That's a specific Chinese saying. So we don't really know how to say, hey, you did a good job, or wow, that was really great, because we feel embarrassed. So as a result, you're walking around, who loves me, who likes me, literally the like on social media, who has positive comments. And it's really damaging to ourselves to constantly be looking for love in the wrong places. So what instead we do with the bottom of the bun is appreciation of ourselves. So Sam, give me something that you like about yourself.
Something that I like about myself, I'm a go-getter.
All right. Yes, you are. And I see eyeballs. So if you want to practice this exercise with me, please do put your appreciations of yourself in the chat. If Crystal is still on, I appreciate that Crystal has an amazing voice, and she's in the zone when she sings, and it's just so pure. So that was an appreciation for Crystal instead of myself, just to combine the top and the bottom. Go ahead, Sam. Sam? Oh, I think Sam's on mute. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. One thing that I like about myself is how I like to change people's ways of, like, too many people are mean in this world, so I try to project being nice and kind and, change eyes.
Beautiful, and you are. And I appreciate that I am nice 88% of the time. 12% of the time is contrast to prove that I'm human.
And then one more, right?
Yeah.
One thing I like about myself is I like to self-improve.
I appreciate that I know how to use the art of neglect. So if there's something that I don't like, to talk about it more just keeps it alive. So I'm learning how to be really good at neglecting things that I don't like, and that makes it better. All right, and those are our appreciations. You usually do those right before you put your head on the pillow. That way you're thinking about good things instead of all the people that did you wrong, all the things that you don't like, and all the things that you didn't do, and that result in usually you beating yourself up, which is a futile exercise. If you are a perfectionist and you have a tendency to beat yourself up, or if you keep focusing on the one insult instead of the 99 compliments, or if you say things like, I'm harder on myself than I am on anybody else, then I have two words for you: stop it. Because if you cannot approve of yourself, how the fork do you think that someone else is going to approve of you? So there you go. That's the bottom of the bun, the appreciation time. And when we come back, I'm going to give you all of those amazing interviews with the Temptations, with the grandson of the Temptations and the mom, as well as resources for mental health, my time in Vegas at the knighting ceremony put on by my other brother, John Shin, and his beautiful wife, Arlene, and some Asian Oprah giveaway tickets, and answering your question of how do I deal with constant exhaustion. When we come back here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢.
Be my partner, dance with me, just hold on, I will.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and more, including my YouTube channel, where some of you are interacting live right now. We are definitely getting more eyeballs as we continue to live stream. You are welcome to put your comments in the comment section. That way I can put them up on the screen and interact with you. And if you have any questions, that also can be put in the chat. See, I will show you where Crystal gave me a bunch of hearts this morning. So please do feel free to do that. And thank you so much. I'm now 300-400 views constantly on the Facebook live streaming, as well as on my YouTube live streaming. I didn't tell you, Sam, the numbers continue to exponentialize, and I'm so grateful for that. We are over 253,000 views on my YouTube, and I am grateful to all of you for continuing to support this show about good news, balancing out all the bad news out there. So those who told me 9 years ago that good news would not sell are wrong. But I do need your support as sponsors. So if you have a product or a service that you would like me to do a commercial on this show, that is hashtag positively opinionated, please do contact me at drmarissa.life for very affordable rates starting at $100. All right, now let's show my first on location, which is with Chuck E. Cheese talking about summer fun. Her name is Alejandra Brady, and I got to catch up with her yesterday. So enjoy. Oh, and why is the sound not working? Okay. Technical difficulties.
Hi, Dr. Marissa.
Okay. Is there sound on your end?
I'm well, Dr.
I'm.
Marissa.
Let's see if it just needs to fast forward. If not, we'll show this tomorrow.
Delighted to be here.
Okay, we'll show this tomorrow. And we'll go straight to, let's see. This is a good Recording live. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and you know that I like to balance out all the bad news with good news and what's going on around in the community. This morning is no exception. I have someone here who's going to tell us about what's going on in Long Beach.
Yes, thank you. So today we're hosting a food distribution and resource fair here at the Billie Jean King Main Library at 200 West Broadway in downtown Long Beach. We've got boxes of shelf-stable foods from the LA Regional Food Bank, and we're partnering with the Long Beach Health Department as well as the Long Beach Recovery Act to provide this to all of our residents. There's no eligibility requirements necessary. Just come on down. We've got 2 questions we're asking really quick, and then you're off with your box, as well as some resources. And we do have a resource fair going, so any community health, mental health questions and resources you might need, we're here to serve you.
Fantastic. And there's enough boxes for
about 400 households.
Fantastic. And this is going until what time?
12:30 this afternoon.
Wonderful. And there's free parking?
There is free parking next door at the Civic Center garage. So just come on in, park there, and just walk down. It's a little short walk. We've got ramps as well, so you're able to maneuver with a wheelchair or whatever you may need. And yeah, we're available. We're here to serve.
Thank you so much. So I do this at the all of the things that are going on today that we just shake our heads about, and I was very fortunate to be on location today and found a woman who has information that can help anyone who's concerned about homelessness and mental health. I'm at a resource fair in Long Beach this morning. If you could introduce yourself and tell me why you're here and what people don't know.
Hi, my name is Kathy Trujillo. I work for Mental Health America Los Angeles, and we're here at the resource fair giving people information about how to access mental health services and homeless services in the Long Beach area. If people are interested in getting those services, they can give us a call at 562-285-1330. And we have a homeless drop-in center where people can go and get showers, laundry facilities. We have case managers there that can help with long-term housing solutions. And we also can provide outpatient mental health services for people who need those services.
And what's the most challenging thing about getting this information out to the homeless?
I think that a lot of homeless people know about our services through word of mouth. People have resources and networks they work with. I think the most difficult thing is actually finding housing when people need housing. There's not a lot of housing out there. A lot of people don't want to rent to homeless people. You need to pay 3 times the rent, so it's difficult to find housing. But there are programs available that people can be linked with.
And how can the general public or people who, hear about it, see it, shake their heads, sigh, throw up their hands, we can help. How can we help?
So a lot of places take donations, but I think the most important thing is just treating our homeless neighbors like they're people. I mean, a lot of people are just a paycheck away from being in the same situation, and people deserve respect and want that respect. They're our neighbors, and we need to be respectful of each other.
Because we're all connected.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I do this at the end of every show. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thank you.
All right.
Sam, you didn't catch my microphone being off. All right. So I do show these kinds of clips, and that was a food giveaway day that was not, it's not today, But I wanted to show you one, the focus is on solution always on this show. I don't want to talk about what's wrong. I want to talk about what's right and what we can do. So homelessness is definitely one of those areas that people, say the number, shake their heads, talk about what's wrong. Why isn't there a solution? But there are solutions out there. There are aspects of the solution out there. And I wanted to point out this new organization that I didn't know existed called Mental Health America of Los Angeles. And I put their number in the chat so that if you know of people, even, printing these out or helping someone who is homeless, get in contact and register with them and see what services are available. I went to cover that story because of the freelance work that I do for the New York News Agency as a broadcast journalist. And I always like to bring those stories that are part of the solution. And this definitely was. So kudos to the Long Beach Library, to the Department of Mental Health in Los Angeles County, and of course the Mental Health America of Los Angeles. So go to that number, take it down, and be part of the solution. All right, and let's go to Vegas. I'm going to leave the temptations for last because it was certainly definitely the highlight. But I went to cover this story because one of my friends, who's a past guest, Erik Swanson, unbeknownst to me, my other, you may remember John Shin as the one who put the Think and Grow Rich tour together, Napoleon Hill. I was a speaker on that circuit, and I saw some posts that he had become a knight, but he's actually bringing this whole knighthood to America. He's the ambassador. He's some official title, but his wife Arlene and I just love her, and so I ended up going to Las Vegas after my stint on stage, backstage with the Temptations, to go to Vegas to support and to cover this. So enjoy.
As we welcome His Royal Highness, Prince Rafael Andujar y Vilches of the House of Cappadocia in San Bartolome.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Sir Erik Swanson. Yes, Mr. Awesome. Congratulations, Knight of the Royal Order of Constantine the Great in St. Helena. Congratulations.
Other friends, Bill Walsh also got knighted, and the food was amazing. Never had to be this good at an event, usually in hotels, but the Venetian did really well. Girlfriend, we had the best filter. My other friend, Marissa, who has also been on this show. She was the queen in Never Ending Story 2. And there's Ray Parker Jr., who did the song Brian Tracy was the picture before that. And he's going to be on the show as well coming up. And I got to walk the red carpet. There's Erik Swanson. As you see on, I have inside connections, even though I wasn't being Dame. I'm going to leave that to other people. I'm fine with my Dr. Marissa title. But there's the Prince. I got to meet and pose with the Prince. And there's another dude.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Here I come.
I grabbed the guy. I didn't bring the cameraman, so it's kind of funny. It was very fun in Vegas for sure. So that is, let me get set up. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, the highlight of my on location is Backstage with the Temptations. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Coming back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. My YouTube channel, where you can also get my new short film, PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities, as well as my interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, and now the Temptations. And I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you why I got that particular interview backstage. I'll set the scene. I was actually singing and opening for the Temptations with the amazing Agape International Spiritual Center Choir, and we were at a fundraiser for St. Joseph Center, and I'm going to give them kudos. They do a lot of work for homeless. So again, as I mentioned, with the Long Beach Resources and the Mental Health of America Los Angeles group, St. Joe's has been doing this for 45 years. Please support them, donate. The fundraiser that we were at raised I didn't get a total, but we raised really good money. So glad to be part of that. But they're always needing more, and they really are making a significant inroad in helping get the homeless off the street, not just feeding, but teaching them life skills and getting them back into the workforce and more. So please do support St. Joseph's Center, and that's in Los Angeles. And it was an amazing night. And I do cover red carpets. I was not there to cover that carpet, but I was recognized and asked if I would do some coverage. So I stood there. We were not on stage yet. And I noticed a young gentleman, and on a whim or an inspired impulse, I pulled him aside when he got off the carpet and asked him who he was. And this is what happened.
Recording live, we're just next to the red carpet.
Stop overpaying for sunglasses. It's crazy that the most expensive thing you're wearing is also.
This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. We're just next to the red carpet because all the temptations are out there right now. But you are someone important. If you could introduce yourself and tell me why you're here.
I'm Erik Swanson. I'm here to support the cause and give it back to the community, support St. Joseph's. But I like what they're doing. It's really moving. And my first time here, being on the carpet with my grandfather, so that's something very special moment to me.
Wow, and your grandfather is who?
Otis Williams with the Temptations.
Woohoo! Well, when you are there watching, what's going through your mind?
I'm just looking at somebody who's done so much great for so long. It really amazes me to think, this is my grandfather. He's leading me down that same road to always be persistent and do great things like him. So that means
fabulous. Are you into music?
Yes. I'm Erik Swanson on all platforms, and Erik Swanson on Instagram, and I have a lot of upcoming projects.
Wow. So I'm going to have to have you on my show. I'm on NBC News Radio.
Oh, wow.
So I'd love for you to come and talk about your music. I had Saban on, who's the nephew of Michael Jackson. So this would be perfect. Wonderful. So this is what I do at the end of every show. If you go like this, peace in, peace out, world peace through interviews. This is Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, reporting live here at the helping St. Joseph Center with his grandson, who will be on the show soon.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I did not know that he was the grandson. So what happened after that? Let's see what is. Here we go. I like the auto play for the next. So I'm there. I interview. I have no idea who he is. And then what I was serious about having him on the show. And so we exchanged numbers, and he texted me pretty much right away and said, "So great meeting you." and I'm like, "Oh, Trace, great meeting you. I would love to be able to, get a photo with you and your grandfather." And he's like, "That would be great." And then one thing led to another. And the next thing I know, he introduces me to the manager of the Temptations, who then got me backstage to where they were getting ready to go on for a backstage interview. So I'm going to show you that now. There is another interview that we don't have time for because I do want to get to the question of the day with Trace and his mom, who's the daughter of Otis Williams, Elaine Carter. She's beautiful. So you're going to have to watch that as well. And his dad was the gets photo credit for that interview. He's delightful. It's such a beautiful family. So I want to make sure that you watch that one as well. But this one is the one that is getting lots of love online. So here we go. And
good evening. I'm Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I am so honored to be here with the Temptations. Legend. So I don't have an answering machine, it's a questioning machine. So when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So who are you and what do you want?
Well, we are the Temptations, and we want to sing and please everybody.
Well, you do a very good job of that.
Thank you. I'm Otis Williams.
And I'm Ron Tyson.
I am Terry Weeks.
And I'm Tony Graham.
And actually, there's 5 of us.
Oh, so he's late. Does he get knocked? So what do you think is the best advice to give people right now who are not feeling like they are going to make it? Because there's a lot of sad people out there. What would you say to make them happy?
What we were saying was, if you can find your way to the Temptation show, you guarantee to make experience. That's right. So that's what we're here.
Yeah. How do you keep going? Like, I mean, you're like ageless, like me. But what's your secret?
Well, we love it. Just like that. Yeah. We're blessed and love what we do for 60 years. Yeah, so
60 years.
That's a lot of money.
Well, thank you so much for spending a minute. I know you have to go on stage. If you could just do this with me, this is what I do at the end of every show. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live with the Temptations. So honored and just wish you the best. Go break a leg.
And they were absolutely amazing on stage. For copyright, I can't show it, but please go to my YouTube channel where you can get all of my little clips. On Facebook, I also put them on Reels, as well as Instagram, Doc Balance. It was an incredible show. And I'm just so grateful that that all happened without me trying to make it happen. That's the law of attraction at work, because I just know that life is for me, is conspiring for me, never against me. All right, we're going to end the show now, wrapping it up with answering the question of the day, which is, how do I deal with constant exhaustion? And the onslaught of what's been happening around the guns, around the violence, around the people dying, around the pandemic, around the discrimination and hatred and racism, around all of the negative things that have happened to you and your family. And if you were feeling good at this point, once I've listed all of those and put them in front of you, those of you who feel like you don't want to get out of bed, why bother? It's just, I'm so tired all the time. I hear this as a coach. People come to me all the time. Why am I tired all of the time? And my answer to you is, when you do not process what is happening to you real time or close to real time, it builds up. So if you're a person like George Costanza's father, who walks around and says, serenity now, and I'm okay, and I can't change this, so I'm just going to plow through, that will work for a little time. And then it will stop working, because you literally cannot exhaust your body, your mind, and your emotions. There is going to be a time, what you do not deal with will come back and deal with you. So to be able to check in with yourself on at least on an hourly basis, how am I doing? How am I feeling? And if you would do this and gauge yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I right now? And that is a Happy 88 tool. It's called Check In, the assessment. Okay. You're going to take that breath that I always talk about. And some people I ask my clients to put at the top of the hour on their calendar to repeat all day, is at noon or at 1 on the top of the hour. You can do it at the bottom of the hour. Just stop push yourself, step away from the device, whatever device you're typing on or looking at or whatever you're doing, and take that first breath in and release the breath, engaging the body, soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another breath, releasing all the stories and the drama, engaging the mind. That's 2. And the third, releasing, connecting with chi, eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all. No beginning, no end. And if I breathe in, I'm not taking anything from you. So it's also a symbol of abundance, and that activates the spirit. So body, mind, spirit activation with my 3 breath technology. And then say to yourself, what number am I on a scale of 1 to 10 right now in happiness? So 10 is not the goal. If you're at a 10, you're dead. So we don't want dead people walking around. 8 is the goal. 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish. It's a homophone for good fortune. So we all have a birthright to be happy 80% of the time, or 88% of the time. So if you're not at an 8 and you're at a 1, instead of saying, I'll get over it, why am I a 1? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Could I use a hug? What is it? Now, if you say a brand new sports car or a brand new house, that's too big of a jump. But right now, what is it? Is it just a little breath, the 3 breath technology? Am I hungry? When was the last time I ate? And did I eat something that was filling or that was full of sugar that gives me a temporary high and then falls down? Do I need a walk? I always feel better after I exercise. I may not like exercising, but I always feel better when I do that. And that check-in, do I need to connect with someone who's positive, who's not going to make things worse right now? Have edifying conversations, have uplifting conversation. Do I need to talk to someone who sees the bright side to help me right now? Do I need to talk to someone who isn't feeling good right now so I can get out of how I'm feeling and help someone else? Am I feeling disgusted with myself? Well, it's time to check in and know that I am important. I'm one of a kind, wonderful. I'm loving, lovable, and loved, as we all are. So what is the food do I need? The emotional affirmation? Do I need physical food? Do I need physical exercise? Do I need more sleep? And a lot of us here, I'm getting more and more alarmed for people who are going to the doctor. I know how easy it is to get sleep medication. I myself, when I was going through a horrific divorce, it was very easy for me to get 5 different kinds of sleep medication. And those may help you sleep short term, but there's a lot of side effects and it's difficult to get off of them. It's easy to get addicted. So please, 1, use my gratitude sandwich. If you have, the bottom of the bun, and just end your day with some appreciation. If you don't meditate, try it. If you can't sit still and meditate, try moving meditation. I have a practice that you can get at drmarissa.life. You can come to my class every last Saturday of the month at the beach at 10 a.m. in Long Beach. Mine's not the only way. There's so many different, ways to calm yourself down. Take care of yourself. I absolutely advocating. This is not probably the same as someone hugging you, especially, we're still trying to keep safe from COVID, but just learning how to soothe yourself. So do the breaths, do the assessment, and then how can I get that number up towards an 8? If you're already past that, I call it, the process is called the labyrinth of shiitake. And a lot of us, if you can catch yourself at that first level of stinking thinking, which is, negativity that you can still talk yourself out of. So here's another tool when you say, I can't believe all this. I'm afraid to go outside now because of all the gun violence and you could, get shot anytime. And isn't it horrible what's happening? That's stinking thinking. It's not going to make you feel good. It is true, but it is not necessary to focus on that all the time. So if you can catch yourself at stage 1, then you can focus on something else and say, ICBW, it could be worse. The good thing is the legislation, our president is saying the whole ban on assault weapons. There's an organization called the Sandy Hook Promise, people who have put together, I'm trying to get one of them on the show to go to your legislation today, vote. Go vote for people who are not pro assault weapons, who are not pro no background checks, who are pro no bans on the magazines. Those are things that we know can help. So when you're voting, keep those in mind tonight. That's what we can do. But that's stinking thinking. So switching the negativity to solution. What can we do? If you can't catch yourself there, you might be going to the next stage down that labyrinth of shiitake, which is worst case scenario. And you do not want to go to worst case scenario because then you're not going to go outside, and that's silly. You're going to be afraid. Fear stands for future events already ruined. You're not going to go outside in case you're going to get shot. Then you're going to miss out on a lot of life. All right. So let's not go to that. But if you're there and then you don't catch yourself there, you go to the bottom, which is the effinator. And the effinator makes all the bad things on the planet about you. And somehow you're getting punished, or you're the problem, or you're the reason all the bad things are happening, which is bull-shiitake again. It's a BS belief system that will keep you under the covers, eating, drinking, addicting, to stop feeling who you really are, that one of a kind, wonderful person you are, that you cannot get to if you let yourself slip that low. At that point, I would suggest getting some help. There's a lot of coaches out there. I do happiness coaching myself, but there's so many people that you can go to get some help, because once you get to that place, it's very difficult to kind of get out. But if you can catch yourself at the top with that negative, that stinking thinking, then you'll have an easier time. But the truth is, we can all do a lot more self-care than we think we can. We do not need to go to the end game of, checking yourself in for a 5150, which is an option, but I'm here to try. I'm on that happy 88 mission, 88 million more, 88% happy people in the next 8 years. You can do more for your own self-care than you think you can. All right. Finally, Asian Oprah giveaway. Go to drmarissa.life if you want those 2 tickets to the Bob Eubanks Backstage with the Beatles, this Friday show. Put in the Beatles in the subject line. I'm Dr. Marissa. Thank you for joining me today on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow. Now go out and have the best day ever.